as they head out across the map. I mean, the main person that's going to be struggling in this, it feels like, is going to be Knight, right? Like playing this hero in a position 4 role could be tough. You said you were going to do some theory crafting.
Yeah,
He's got a heal, right? Like it's pretty hype.
right. I mean, like I did the theory crafting and decided this hero has very what is the words I want to use for this? It doesn't seem like it's good. Let's put it that way. As a
Okay.
support, like you're just not using the Heartstopper. I wonder if he's just gonna. I mean, you can still get it. Maybe they should do like a split, right? They should both be like 3.5s here and just kind of give the Necro a little bit of farm. Centaur
Okay.
plays a bit more greedy, just gets an early dagger and kind of just plays like that Mars role, just buy dagger, run around, give Knight some more farm. Because overall, it's a fairly decent Necro game. It's not like God tier Necro game. You are playing versus Phoenix, Brewmaster, who can dispel your Ghost Shroud, and of course Lina, who has lots of magical burst damage. Good luck, Knight. I'm hoping to see good things from you, though.
Fair enough. And who knows? Maybe it'll be the new iteration. We said we want to see new meta coming out. Maybe there's a chance that they've found something very cool and interesting to run out here.
I mean, the good news is, like I said, the lane should be fine regardless. Like,
Okay.
Spectre plus Phoenix is not a good lane. These heroes are really good late game, right? They're really good with levels, but as a laning duo, pretty weak. And Centaur and Necro together, no matter who's getting last hits, doesn't really matter. They've got a lot of nuke damage, they got a lot of heal, and they got a lot of harass. So the laning should not be a problem.
You know, the other thing too is that if you were ever going to have any type of concern, like everybody kind of gets farmed nowadays anyways, right? Like we're playing in a meta where 4s often get Midas, and this is still, regardless of whatever else may have happened, they are going to have a situation where the hero that they picked is still in the game. So what they wanted out of Necro, most likely having this Reaper Scythe at some point, it's going to be there to find a burst on either the Brewmaster or the Phoenix. These heroes that like need to get that ultimate off. It's going to be a lot harder to do that with Reaper in the game.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely going to be some uses here that they can make work. And the real question is going to be, with this Tiny, can you find these kills across the map? And I definitely think it's actually possible. It is definitely possible. We'll have to see, though, for sure. As bottom lane, they're running Shin Q here on this Weaver. We did mention pretty interesting combination. We did see the Cinder Brew being applied to 2 heroes, and Weaver's just triggering it by running through them with Sakuchi here. And so that has a nice little synergy there.
It's pretty solid. I think one of the questions is going to be, what does XingQ decide to do with this farm? This is always a player that wants to get some pretty solid farming on. That's just the way that XingQ tends to play Dota as a position 4. He's a little bit more greedy sometimes. And if that's happening, is he going to go for a damage route? Is he going to try and go like Nitos? Maybe he goes for a Aghanim Scepter. Sounds pretty good against the Necrophos.
Yeah, it could work. I'd prefer to see him just play more like a core, though, than a support role. Like, getting some supported items would be fine, but overall, I really think all heroes should play to the strength of their hero, and I think the strength of Weaver and what he does as a hero is he does damage. Like, he reduces your armor, he has, like, this double attack ability, which, based on your right-click, as we can see, Wraithband is already queued up for the Weaver. Like, if you just try to build like a 4-staff on Weaver or something, like, you're gonna feel later on in the game that you're not scaling, and scaling is just super important this patch, and I think you should do whatever you can to be able to continuously scale.
Well, speaking of starting off right and scaling into the later stages, holy moly, is mid going good for Dark Mago. He is 18-7 versus 13-1, and already just putting the pressure onto XM in the mid lane. That's what you want to see.
He is really well known in the South American community, or just in general worldwide at this point, for his Tiny. This is not a hero that is popular, right, in the meta right now, but this man can make it work in almost any situation. The real question, yet again, will come down to, it's not necessarily Tiny in the laning stage, like, what can you do after the laning stage? As Tiny is a hero that may suffer a little bit from scaling, if you don't get some critical ganks on the map. It kind of has like the Mars problem, right? You're not getting kills all over the map, then all of a sudden this hero isn't farming as much as the other heroes will on the map. As the Weaver will go down just for the first blood there.
Yeah, shared between a couple. Lumiere is living through this after, the Lucid Beam and bodying back XXS. They get the double. All right, look at this. Wawitas off to a really good start.
Yeah, for sure. And the laning stage should be in their favor. The only lane that I thought might go poorly for them is the mid lane. And Dark Mago's like, nah, I got this lane. Who cares? They're playing versus Lina. And it comes down to like XM here, like, maybe it was a mistake to go the stun build instead of like just spamming Dragon Slave, because that has been buffed so much to the point where that adds that additional damage over time. If you do spam it, you're going to get really low, but he decided to go for the play where he's going to get his stun and try to just outplay you. The only issue is if you do go this build and you don't outplay them, you kind of just draw your lanes, and that's kind of what's happening here.
Well, also got denied out that second water rune too. They are going to stay up close and get onto Lumiere, find the kill down bottom. So the combination of the Brew and Zinc, that's what they needed.
Yeah, they definitely needed that one after not only giving first blood up, but second blood as well in this lane here. But the moment you get that return kill, and the hero, was he level 4 on Luna? Yeah, Luna was even level 4, giving lots more EXP, and they're going to go in for more. Maybe it's a bit of harass, so.
Not doing that much there yet.
Yeah, Lumiere had a healing salve on Courier coming to him, so he died right before he got his healing salve. That's gotta hurt. A little bit greedy.
Trying to get into the Mask of Madness as quickly as possible. 2 points up in that Lucent Beam. And of course, that's also going to help out in these other lanes too, with that global effect now at the 5-minute mark. Onto Lumiere yet again, in trouble, and the back-to-back deaths. That is quite bad. Oh, that is not what they wanted to see.
It's definitely rough, and it goes back to the AA, right? Like, this hero, when you pick him, he's not gonna really win you lanes. What he's really good at is doing damage and scaling, kind of like a Phoenix. So you got to play a bit more passive and respect the fact that if you get in trouble, your AA, he has no tools to save you, right? So he just goes down really fast there, and we might have Knight going down as well on his Necrophos. Without a doubt, he will go down as well, and Lumiere has to make his walk back. So that laning stage was so good for Wawitas here, but now all of a sudden you're giving a kill to Lina. You're getting a back-to-back death on the Luna after getting that first blood, kind of like shifting the momentum back into Azure Ray's corner here.
Yeah, there's going to need to be some eye on what needs to happen going forward. It is at least going to be a bottle refill for Mago. In the mid lane, he is also able to stack up at the same time. And you'll watch for 7-minute marks coming around Wisdom Runes, but Lumiere again getting chased and does not have a way out of this. Is just dead. That this can't happen anymore. Oh no, are they going to steal the Wisdom Rune? Knight is moving over. Tianming is there. The dive is ready. Goes in just a little bit too late, and well, that's going to set up for a gank move, and Dark Mago picks it up.
Yeah, it was a good attempt to like half seconds off on that dive, and then it comes down to at that point ping. But luckily for them that they're on land, so ping doesn't really matter. But yeah, Lumiere just walks mid, but that's not even where he wants to be. Like, he's laning versus a level 7 Lina with 4 points in Dragon Slave.
Whoa, but wait a minute. Mago, they come back in.
They can.
Did he get a bottle refill off of that? No, he didn't.
This is very, very bad for Tiny, too, because Tiny is forced right now to run on the map. And if Azure Ray reads this correctly, that they will just chill right now. The enemy mid laner has to get a kill right now. Otherwise, he is giving up so much to his game just to kind of compensate for Mir having no lane whatsoever. And XSS in this entire scenario, he's free farm. He queued up a mine. He's like, I got a free lane now.
That in the mid lane too. They make the move back in. Dark Mago tries to get the kill. It's not gonna happen. Tianming lives through it, and now they'll lift up. They're making the full move back in trouble. LSA is out. Dark Mago tries to survive. Laguna Blade isn't going to quite have enough to chase him down yet as XXS moves back in. Apply the Cinder Brew, and now the Stampede. Wait, Mago's rolling forward? Oh, that was scary.
I think, wow. That was very, very greedy by XSS. He decided to, instead of all-inning the Tiny and killing him when the Lina TP'd in, he used all his spells to try and kill the Necro. They didn't have the same target. And because they didn't target the same hero, nobody died. In fact, Phoenix ended up dying because of it. I'm pretty sure they could have killed the Tiny there if they all used all their spells, including the Brewmaster spells, to kill him there. But Knight, just being there in general, just kind of baited the Brewmaster onto him, saving the Tiny, and getting them a Phoenix kill. So that went way better than it probably should have for Wawitas.
That is definitely what they need to have happen. Is, I mean, even still, it's still Mago running around, not really able to find these kills that he's looking for. And right now he's underneath a ward, as it is the Luna just sort of farming, trying to catch up in the jungle. This has been a little bit rough for them these last couple of minutes. And Mago chased underneath tower. There's the Spectre. It's the Haunt in. Now the heal. It's going to be enough to let them dive underneath this tower and kill off the Tinies. Well, he does dodge away for a second. Wait a minute. Is he going to be able to buy his way out of there? And it doesn't quite look like it. And Knight also chased underneath the tower. They brought 4. They finish him off.
Tianming with a great gate plate there, really using Spectre as well to get these kills. A little bit of an interesting skill build I don't see very often from Low right now, just maxing his dispersion, going into Blade Mill. This is going to be a little worse for ganking on the map, but he probably feels like he needed to do this to survive the lane a bit more against the Centaur and Necro spamming him. And it also will increase his farming speed too throughout the game here, as he's going to be able to just hit these neutrals, get that dispersion damage with the Blade Mill up. I kind of like it when carry players know when to be greedy, and I think this is a perfectly good time to do it.
I guess that's probably even better against Centaur than it would be normally too. If he's spamming double edge on him, it probably brings Oscar fairly low. Makes him feel slightly uncomfortable in the lane.
I don't mind it at all. The only downside it does have is you don't have that level 4 dagger right now to gank with the Shadow Step, but it seemed like it didn't even matter, right? They still killed Dark Mago at the end of the day with it, so that's what I mean by greed. You just got to know where to go.
On Panda. And with that Ice Blast out, it's going to be more than enough to get Lumiere back into this game with that kill. Now up top, Oscar, Stampede, going to be used to try and get out of here. And with no control, Azure, do they have enough to kill him off? I don't think so. They're bringing in numbers. Xingqiu shows up. Not going to happen.
I'm curious to see.
Oh, they move in.
Okay.
Every sight, they got him. Lul goes down and able to set up for another kill. Panda, he's probably not going to be so lucky as XM and Xingqiu make the move over to take down that AA. But a very scrappy back and forth game coming out right here.
That was a really good kill as well. And Necro, he got the Reaper Scythe permanent region as well, so that helps out. Still keeping my eye on, like, what is Knight going to build in this particular game to help his team?
Ooh.
We'll have
to saw
see.
Oscar farming on that ward up on the high ground, and now going to try and chase him down a bit. Will they be able to have enough for the kill underneath tower? And with stick charges, he will be fine. But that should set up to maybe steal a couple of these Ancients if Azure want to fully commit to it.
Yeah, I think they should just nuke it again on the Lina. Weaver, honestly, Weaver can just take care of it now. Why not? He's got the Medallion. He's got Sakuchi. He'll just go ahead and mop up at least one of these. We'll see who gets the dragon, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. The damage has been done. You stole a big stack there. You chased them off. You got the tier 1 tower. In return, the only really exchange you had is Luna was farming, which is quite impressive by Lumiere to already have kind of salvaged this game. He's top of the net worth again, but you do have to keep in mind it did come at the cost of kind of reducing Tiny's game after having a good laning stage. He's just been forced to run around the map and make things happen and stop hitting creeps.
God, they are doing a really good job over here in the triangle. I'm keeping my eye on the Azure Ray lineup as Lumiere is farming. They got another D ward in on the high ground and then placed another ward back behind next to Oscar and Knight there on the low ground. So they're doing a good job of keeping vision in these areas that are supposed to be safe farm. As that happens, though, I believe that Tianming smoked up right by Vision. That ward is over on the low ground in the river. That might have been spotted.
We'll have to see if they can deward it, but if they don't, that is definitely some really good vision to have on the map here.
Cool. Playing with Tian Ming, but there's nobody there. I mean, who do you need to bring to fights to get kills for Azure?
Well, I think they just need to survive, right? And
Okay.
you just need Spectre to get more levels. And speaking of going in, there's a Centaur with a Blink Dagger and a Tiny. They want to battle.
Oh, catches both of them. There it is. The avalanche, the toss. Perfect combination. Luo is low and dead. XXS will pop the ulti. They're going to connect onto Oscar here. But, I mean, even if you get that kill, I think you're pretty happy after taking down the Spec. And they get more, though. They've used a lot on the side of Wawitas. The lift up now onto Tiny.
Brew might be in
Luna
trouble.
showing up. Yeah, Brew is now getting away. Oh, did they die? And that's why he spawned back on the other side?
Yeah, they killed it, not realizing one of them was still alive.
Oh, man. And now Knight gets found. No Laguna Blade, but the right clicks are enough. And Tian Ming doing a massive amount of damage. Lumiere chased down by Lul and XXS. They've already killed the Tiny. And just like that, Wawitas, they stick around a bit too long and get punished.
Yeah, the choice there to try and go on Jin Q there costed them 4 heroes, as Panda's going to be the last one to bite the dust here. And yeah, they're tipping Jin Q, masterfully baited there as the Tiny tried to go on him, and it just didn't work out. They didn't have the damage to kill him. They extended a bit too much. Spectre respawned from that previous engagement, and then went right on top of the Luna there, and then the fight was just over. And I think maybe a bit of mistake there, thinking that we're going to have a replay here as well. I really want to see if they just killed the Bruise and allowed that last one to survive, and that would have been the difference maker as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That could have made all the difference in the world. A very, very frustrating series of events, and it was just coming down towards the end.
Yeah, Tiny used his combo on Weaver right there, and he just time-lapsed it off, and then all of a sudden, there it is. They just weren't ready for it. So Dark Mago extending there without the follow-up, and that's just the type of hero Weaver is, right? Like, either you burst him or he goes back to full HP.
Right.
And he went back to full HP, then all of a sudden you didn't have Tiny spells. And then the fight was just turned.
Mago will find Tian Ming again, does have egg at the ready. And something that we haven't talked about a ton, but there aren't really great egg hitters. Oh my god, that feels so bad. A Centaur have to stampede away from the Weaver position 4. I mean, granted, DD Solar Crest, but still, it hurts.
I think Knight doesn't know what to do with this hero right now. He's like, what do I build, guys? I guess I'll go Blade Mill. And This is like a build in which you do on core. Like, you can go Blade Mill Heart on Necro. It's fine, right? But normally, this build has a timing. And that timing is very scary. But the Blade Mill's not even online, right? It's not even that close. And we're at 17 minutes in the game just about. So, difficulties finding... Oh, a great smoke ring by Jin Q.
Oh, that was really nicely done. Breaks the smoke, gets out of trouble. Xingqiu continuing his streak of just really being the winner for Azure. He's going to have to toss away one. They're underneath a Sentry Ward, but it just doesn't matter. Azure, their heroes are so good at just disrupting what Wawitas wants to do.
As per usual, Xingqiu is just playing out of his mind here, and the massive amount of team fight that is on the side of Azure is going to be very difficult to deal with right now. Because we talked about the Tiny and why this hero isn't picked very often. You're seeing it right here in this game. Like, Xingqiu has more net worth than a mid-Tiny right now. And of course, it's not necessarily only his fault. Okay, they're going to get low. That helps. But one of the big downfalls of playing these type of heroes is, like, you can fall behind. And you have to credit Xingqiu again on the laning stage for making them in a situation. All right, they're gonna find the Weaver, or who's finding who here?
He's out. Doesn't want to mess with
there's an Atos on the Weaver. Laguna. It's not happening.
Oh, Lumiere, he's gone. Yeah, that one hurts. That is not what you want to see. And wait a minute, a chance to turn? Laguna Blade, or excuse me, not Laguna Blade. Reaper Scythe out and getting another stack.
Very good.
But comes at the cost of losing the Luna.
Well, yeah, that's not great, but it does feel like Xingqiu is you kind of have to stop him, though. You know what I mean? It almost feels worth it in some weird way. This Weaver just can't get away with it. Keep playing in people's face and getting kills like this.
Right.
He has to feel like he's mortal, because if the position 4 is just running around murdering everyone, the game ain't going so hot, right? And let's be real, this game isn't going the way that you would want it to go if you're Wawitas. It's still playable, it's manageable, but so much weight is on Lumir's shoulder here to carry the game, because he has an offlane Centaur who went really early blink. You have a mid laner who goes really early blink, and you know, yet again, we're gonna see Darkma go. Can he survive this?
They bring in the Necrophos? Oh, they're bringing more. This is not the way it's supposed to go. People are just dying bit by bit, and Oscar in further trouble. They try and heal him up, do get some separation, enough to keep their buddy alive. Knight, in the meantime, probably not going to be so lucky. As the Laguna Blade comes out from XM, they manage to take down 2. And again, what did they expend for that? Shadow Step, which is already about to be back up, and 50-second cooldown Laguna Blade.
It's definitely not looking good for Dark Mago here. As mentioned before, I think they need to get this BKB on Luna. And then when you have the BKB on Luna, I don't think you can wait anymore. I think you just got to go and start making this Luna active in the fights and hope you can win a couple fights into the Roshan. That would also be another decent thing to do. They're going to force the egg out in the mid lane. Not bad, not bad. It's something. But I think it's going to come to a point where you just have to play all around this Luna and make things happen. Whether that's Roshan objective or it's just smoke ganking and finding a core. It's going to have to happen because this Spectre, it's already been doing a lot of work here, right? But all of a sudden you're going to have a Radiance now on it. And this is the big power spike for Spectre coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it, you know, should be noted that as much as we are sort of talking down about the prospects for Wawitas, we've seen Azure get too far forward. Lina is a hero that is scary as hell to run into, but also is very killable if you can get on top of her. And they have some heroes to do that. And again, with this lineup on the side of Wawitas, if they can win a fight, Luna will shred towers. Now Xingqiu is forced to use the time lapse. Panda trying to back away, is not going to be able to get out of there in time. Does have a pipe on Oscar, holding on to it for now. And it looks like they're going to get away from this one.
That was like an FU Laguna. This Centaur was like full HP. He's like, I'm just going to Laguna you in the face. I mean, it's back in like 40 seconds, so it's fine. But showing like they don't mind spinning some spells, right? They don't mind just showing you who's the boss right now for Azure Ray. As this lead, okay, who's the boss now? It's still Helena.
Is flying away. Well, that is the BKB timing. What are we going to see Wawitas do with it? BKB, pipe on Oscar. Tiny has Echo Saber, long ways away from getting his BKB done, but it feels like there could be something working here.
This is a style that a lot of South American teams enjoyed playing for a long time, and it's just like picking a mid laner who has a blink and gets kills, and picking an off laner who also blinks and gets kills, and playing that hyper aggressive style. However, this style has faded out over the year when you have other teams that just like would do the complete opposite and just have like a farming off laner, because it's just easier to play the game when you don't have to do stuff on the map. And essentially what I'm saying is they have to do something right now. It's because the way they drafted and the way they pick these heroes, they're really good at getting kills. And that's where all their income's going to come from. It's from getting kills. They're not going to get much income through farming because the heroes aren't really good at it. So if the game gets slowed down, Azure has great heroes for farming. Brewmaster, of course, is going to run around and farm a lot. I mean, his build's a little interesting with Octarine Core, not going for the Radiance because Spectre has, I imagine. But Spectre with Radiance farms really back, Lina farms fast. They can just shove these zones out over and over, and if they just avoid the ganks, they're just going to be much more farmed, as you can see. And Dark Mago is going to try and go in.
Tries to do it. Now the runaway separates for a moment. They find the Brewmaster, though, and will be able to kill him off. So making the move
might die
and also
too.
hitting the egg. Yeah. So 2 great teamfight spells are down, and Mago got away scot-free.
This is like deja vu when we watched Azure Ray versus Team Secret, right? And where Azure Ray is just owning, then all of a sudden there's some misplaced egg, some hero's just out of position and dies, and the game kind of like flips on its head a little bit here. Good kills and exactly what they need to do. As mentioned, you have to get kills on the side of Wawitas here. Like, of course, Luna's going to get really farmed, and of course, Luna did participate in that as well. So we need more of that to be happening, and I think Roshan is going to be something Wawitas is really looking at to go onto that dire side, because I feel like going down there right now is you're not going to have time to kill it, right? So might as well just try to get to that dire side, ward it up as much as possible. They already have a great ward on that top lane there. And play around that Roshan area. You don't have to do the Rosh necessarily, but you need to take that land and make sure that the enemy team can't do it, and Dark Mango, unfortunately, will be going down on that one.
Now, he did manage to bottle a DD before he died, which is pretty nice for them if they can make something happen with that when he comes back. Panda's just going to be chased a little bit here. The Cinder Brew comes out, taking a lot of damage from XXS, but TP's away. That should get the AA away without too much issue. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think that this Roche feels like it's imperative for Wawitas to have a good game. And then on the side of Azure, they too can take it. Weaver has a Death Zone now on Sync Q on top of a Solar Crest.
And an Atos.
Right, and an Atos and the Shard. So this guy is really scary.
I mean, look at the net worth, right? You got Lemire, who is top of the net worth, and you have 4 players from Azure Ray. So it's kind of really telling the story of like how much Lemire has to do in these fights, because he's bearing all the team's net worth. Spells aren't going to do it alone anymore.
No, he needs free reign to get after it, and maybe finding these
pickoffs
is going to be one helpful way to start this. And they're already onto him. They drop everything to kill XM. But look, up top at the same time, Azure Ray, they're in the pit. They're going to try and take down Roche, and they're going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's good for Wawitas, though, to get that kill. I think Roche would have been almost impossible to contest because they weren't already ready for it. So I think they gave Roche to kill the enemy mid laner. Not a bad trade whatsoever. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't this Necrophos have a broadsword in his inventory going for blade mail? He sold it.
Yes.
And got a force staff. He's really showing that, like, I don't think this Necro was not planned. You know, like, he's kind of winging it as he goes. Like, what do I want? Blade mail? He's like, this isn't going to do anything. I'm just going to sell this.
Well, Knight is in some trouble now. Yeah, he stopped going for the blade mail to pick up his shard, and then has since switched over to the force staff. So a little bit of itemization woes, but he's getting there. You know, he's working on it bit by bit. And to be fair, having Reaper's Scythe at the ready, it's a really great team fight spell given what they want to do on this team. Finding that initial pick, if he can get there, it's really good.
I think he should buy a Blink Dagger as his next item and just like play around the Reaper, because every other one of his abilities in this game is like so insignificant. You know, we talked about Ghost Shroud. You press Ghost Shroud out, Laguna, you're dead. Or Brewmaster will just dispel it if he has his ultimate available. Phoenix doesn't care. There's a lot of heroes that just don't care about it. So you're not going to be that frontlining Necro, but he needs to follow up with the chain stun to also do his own type of stunning, and they just need to get the burst in there. And that could be the route to victory. And he does queue up the blink. All right, he's in agreement with me on that one. Besides, that is the way to go in this game. And I couldn't agree more.
Finding some value in spite of being on a little bit of an unorthodox hero. It's still a 6,000 gold lead, which at this point in the game is a lot. But if they can kind of not lose too much more around the map over the next couple of minutes, maybe there's a chance that Wawitas can keep this net worth lead sort of constant. Because they have like sort of gotten into the point where I feel like they can farm to some extent on their heroes a little bit, right? Like, you know, Necro has 5 stacks now of Reapers. He's getting good like mana regen and stuff. We'll have to see. What are your thoughts on that?
They're definitely going to scale, but only by winning team fights.
Okay, so they have to take fights.
Yeah, it's not going to be through farming, because as much as you're scaling, the enemy team is also scaling, right? This Weaver we talked about has crazy scale. I'm not sure what we're doing with the Phoenix itemization wise. He does have an ultimate orb. This could be building into a Lincoln's to help protect against the Reapers. It could also potentially just be a sheep stick, which is also a good item, but he decides Gem is going to be the choice after that ultimate orb, which I think is a sensible choice as well. You do have Aegis, get the map control. Make sure you can't get the initiation on you. So yeah, scaling is somewhat there, but it's going to be on both sides. It really is going to come down to team fights. And unfortunately, the team fights are going to revolve around Lemire. Getting kills without Lemire are maybe going to be on potentially supports and Phoenix. That's our Phoenix and Lina are the only heroes I think they can kill right now.
Panda is getting wrapped on. Found the Glimmer Cape, got him out of a lot of other bits of trouble, but won't be able to escape this time. Did kill off the wave at the very least, which is nice, slowing down this push that's going to come from Azure while they're trying to finish off this Blink Dagger and now have it done for night. So some more of this mobility and items to allow them to take the fights more effectively.
And they're going to need to find like a key target with this as well, because when you go on Centaur, when you go on Tiny, and when you blink in on this Necrophos, you're all in at that point, right? It's sure, maybe Stampede can help you get back a little bit, but when you go in, you need to get a kill, because if you don't, you're probably going to lose a hero or two, and the fight's going to be a disaster. But if you can end up bursting, well, I think Lean is probably the best hero to burst here, but even if you get like a Phoenix or a Brewmaster, that still could set you up for having a better team fight.
Yeah. Or Zinq. I mean, this guy's doing a ton of damage in the fights, and not like impossibly tanky yet. Wait a minute, they find one. XXS at the start. Do they have enough to blow him up in time? Not quite. He gets the split off. Oh, it hurts. And Lumiere is dead instantly. Yeah, that one is painful as they run these heroes down.
Oh, good dispel there.
Yeah, takes it away immediately. Nice Glimmer Cape, bro.
They found him. Okay.
Toss? Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. Oh god. Alright, Lul gets the triple kill. Here, make it stop.
I mean, I can't make it stop, unfortunately. I get where Dark Mongo is coming from. He's like, yeah, well, this game's kind of effed. Maybe I can salvage it by getting a kill real quick. You know what I mean? It's a desperation play. And that's just the situation they're in right now. It's a desperate game. And they really needed to make that happen. They had the right idea. But unfortunately, the Brewmaster, they just didn't combo everything correctly, right? You need the Ice Blaster. I feel like Tian Ming did a lot of healing with that Phoenix in that particular fight. And
too far away on the AA. He couldn't get it there in time.
And that could have been the difference maker. And unfortunately, XXS is the tankiest hero by far on Azure to try and go for. So didn't really work out playing against that pipe. He's got an Octarine core as well, giving him that extra 625 health. He's a very tanky Brewmaster. Didn't go for any greedy items whatsoever. Pipe, Octarine core. You're going to see he tries to go for the snatch there, and even through BKB with the change, it only gives you 50% magic resistance now. So even the Laguna being a game changer going through the BKB.
Yeah. Oh man, that's painful. And I mean,
if you think about it, right? Like BKB gives you 50% magic resist. Flame Cloak from Lina gives you 35% magic spell amp. So there you go. Easy counter.
Yeah. Good point. It is kind of crazy. I always forget that Flame Cloak also gives you magic resistance.
Yeah, it normally doesn't matter. Generally, when Lina gets jumped on, just dies. It doesn't feel like it does anything because she's not an inherently tanky hero.
Oh no! Oh god, get out of there, Panda! Oh, they're taking the Tormentor. Now they gotta run away. Get through the gate. They can't stop you there.
The Defender's Gate doesn't help for spells.
Tormentor too. Wow.
And the rich get richer.
What a tough one, man. 20,000 gold lead now.
It's just gotten to the point where too many things just went wrong. You know what I mean? Straight from the drafting phase to bot lane to like forcing Dark Might Go to be like this roamer. It's been a tough game. They had some valiant attempts to just claw their way back into the game in some regards. But everything about the situation right now, it's not going to get any easier unless they can use their buybacks to defend the high ground. But will Azure have the discipline to not put himself in a position where they just randomly are going high ground, getting some 10 versus 5 situation, right, with buybacks, and then throwing the game? they can be methodical here. They can just get double Tormentor. They can wait for Roshan, and they can play the map. And then at that point in the game, you might lose a hero here and there to these like 4 or 5 man smokes, as you see they're going to do right now. But it's not that big of a deal if it doesn't translate into an objective.
Particularly when you've got this Phoenix that's like about to eclipse the Centaur in net worth, right? There's so much work that needs to be done to try and play catch up that even if you win a fight, you're not gaining that net worth.
They might find the Brewmaster here.
I mean, we've seen this before, although AA is significantly closer this time on Panda. 6 Lotuses in the pool. Oh no, don't take them. They're going to know you're there. They're going to know you're there. Maybe it doesn't matter. All right.
He's just building for a cheese.
Ooh. Finds one. Oh god, they're out. They find him. Panda tries to get away. They left the Lotuses on the ground. Can they blow up this Spectre in time? They do actually. They lose Panda, but you're happy with that one. XXS is going to be able to beat down Oscar. So 2 for 1, but that one was the spec. Can they get out? Knight blinks away. Well played indeed.
It's something, of course, like you look at it in the grand scheme of things, you still lose Roche. Yeah. You still lose 2 heroes. So all in all, like, it's not a net win, right? It's actually a loss. However, given the circumstance, that's one of the best things that probably could have happened in that situation, which is kind of sad to think about because you're a little too overconfident by the Spectre here. The Spectre thought he could kill A before he gets his spells off, but that was not the case. Dark Mago was there with the clutch stun to just get him stuck there. Oscar follows up, and of course the Reaper Scythe goes after there. So I don't think Luo expected to die whatsoever there. But it's just a net worth disadvantage. Your Spectre dies, and their team is like, haha, who cares? We don't really care if you're dead or not. We can still do Roche. We still have Weaver, our secondary carry, who also has a Swift Blink Deso now.
Yeah, and
absolute monster.
And the Aegis, because they're like, yeah, why not? Oh, wait, but if they kill him, they kill. Will they kill him? Avalanche. Everything drop down ZQ. No. Oh, it's only the Aegis. And they get him again.
He can blink.
Oh, yeah, he gets out.
But why? You know what I mean? This is like classic Azure Ray. They're winning the game, but they don't want it to be easy.
Yeah.
They want to do the hard way as XSS runs up with a gym. Gets the D ward there.
The Spectre did disassemble Radiance. Has a butterfly now on top of a relic and likely building into that nullifier next.
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting.
He'll have that soon. I think they should be pretty patient with this and just wait for the nullifier. It's coming soon. It could be a game changer as well, as this AA is going to continuously use this Glimmer Cape. And it looks like Low has made the call that he wants to focus fire this AA. I mean, it might not be a bad idea to do Necro as well. If you have nullifier, you'll be able to just burst him right away.
Right.
And I think the Reaper Scythe is probably the highest impact spell that they have in the game right now. If they can get this Reaper on top of like a Silver Edge hit that's going to come from Lemire, and might be able to burst them again, potentially.
Use the illusions getting sent out. Do they have any smokes that they can use? They have one, but without knowing where people are at, it's a little bit tough. Yeah. XXS is playing down in this area, though. If they show for any period of time, they might go on him. He's there. He's underneath a ward. Avalanche throws the tree. Bringing more numbers.
He has a Aeon Disc in his backpack here, so he wants to bait.
Find him. Turn. Couple of hits. ZQ finds and blows up Panda. They got to run away. Got to get out. Gotta get out. Lumiere, run. They drop it. They drop the ward. Now it's finding him. Lumiere, no!
He's dead.
He goes down.
He used BKB as well.
Dark Mago in trouble. Going for the Reaper's sight. They connect, but it's not enough. The Glimmer Cape save was there. GG is called. With that, game number 1 is going to be going into the favor of Azure.
Yeah, I did expect Azure to be the slightly better team here, but I feel like I didn't get to see the power of Wawitas. Like, there was an obvious misclick here on this Necrophos, right? Was that confirmed?
We don't know.
We don't know for sure.